Well, hello, everyone. Thank you. Oh, those salutes look great. So this is March 7th, 2023, and I believe this is our 5th class of section 1 of the Young Family Form. And today I asked folks to bring a chair. We'll actually start there. We're not going to spend very long with it, but I wanted to I've talked a bit about the chair and what it can do for you, and I wanted to actually give you some experience with it. But before we do, let's just warm our bodies up just a little bit. We'll be warming up mostly in the chair and by doing the Tai Chi we know already. But let's just do a little bouncing, just jiggling. And, you know, however that feels good to jiggle, get a little movement in your body. And let's just up and down. And up and down. And one more, up and down. And let's sort of go from those jiggles into this exercise a little bit. You don't have to bounce like I do, but I just find it easier, easier to keep track of what I'm doing. Get that sort of warm up that lower back area. And by bouncing a little bit, you get more of that gorilla feeling in your backbone, that I'm almost sitting down, and then get that other side warmed up a little. And remember that you're sort of opening here in this crease, and this is not so different from opening up top. You know, you're expanding your range. So just get a little bit of sort of comfort. Looks good. And if there's something that's feeling like it wants to get a little bit more. Hi, Marcy. Good to see you.
Hi, Dee Dee. Hi, everybody.
So we're going to start with a chair today, Marcy. So I don't have to see you. It's good if I can, but I don't have to. But if you can be seated for a part of it with your feet flat on the floor. So if you have a chair, if you don't have a chair, feet flat on the floor, you just kind of gorilla a little bit. But if you do have a chair handy and can find it and still see the screen, that would be really great. Okay, so the first thing to do is to sit in a chair. I want you to actually get that feeling of going down and thinking about sitting, right? So put your feet shoulder width apart, and if you need to hold on to something, hold on to something. But can you like reach for that chair and like sit? My chair is really low. So and then can you come up? This is actually really great for developing strength in your quads, right? So, you know, this is a good thing. This is a good thing to do. Now, we can all kind of do this, right? But if you can get that feeling like if it was a bar stool, I should have brought I have something that's higher. I should have brought that. But if you have a bar stool, you know that feeling of just getting ready to sit, just getting ready to sit. And we've talked about that just getting ready to sit, it makes sure that your spine is actually pointing down and you're ready to sit. And that's the kind of pointing down that we want in Tai Chi. So let's sit. Feet shoulder width apart. And what I would like you to do, I want to just do a little bit of exploration of our upper body. So we're going to be so far in what we've done, and we'll go over this again when we practice what we know already. Most of our hand movements and our coordinations between upper body and lower body have been so far, not all of them, but most of them have involved big movements of our whole body so far. But actually, sometimes you can do really interesting things with smaller just movements of your torso. So what do I mean by torso? I mean this area right here. This area right here. This is our torso, right? Our middle body or our upper body. Everybody calls it a little different. We probably have people who speak lots of languages here, right? So, so I want you to turn your upper body. You can't turn your lower body now, right? You can turn your upper body. And obviously you're turning that body around your spine, right? So we still want our head straight up. We want to keep ourselves aligned when we do, looking really good, okay? And I want you to explore what that's like. So let's start with the shoulders. And how far can you turn your shoulders? Just get a feel for that. If you're only turning your shoulders, and then you're coming back, and then you're only turning your shoulders to the other side, and then you're coming back. So get a feel for that, okay? Now I want you to come down. I want you to imagine, you can even imagine holding something like you've got a magic, like a marker, some sort of marker that's coming right out of your belly button. So put that marker there, and be relaxed. Try to be relaxed, and then turn and don't turn your shoulders any more than you just turn. And you probably see that that part of you doesn't turn much or as much. Everybody has a different level of flexibility. Now, if you put the two together and you turn from here first, and then you turn your shoulders, you'll probably get further. Is that true for people? You feel like get a little further? You can also push down with this leg, for example, while you're turning. And you might feel like you got farther, or now we're going to push down with the other leg and turn away from it. But you might also feel more, what would be the word, rooted, more connected to the ground, and more stable. Is that true for anybody? Do you kind of feel like it's easier to do? Now, what I'm seeing is really great because I'm not seeing anybody do this, right? Right? You're sitting. And what we want to do is figure out that this part of our body can really move independently. And so when we stand up, which we're going to do in a minute, we're just going to move this part independently. What I also want to go in now is that this part can actually go with our arms. So if we hug a tree for a minute, and remember our hug a tree is, in Tai Chi, we always have this kind of round arm where our elbows are a little bit down and they feel very connected to our backs, very connected. So sometimes you should feel like there's a circle that goes from your fingertips all the way across your back to the other fingertip. And you want to feel that circle, that circle is so connected that if you move one side, the other side will move. And where is it connected? Across your back. So see if you can feel that. See if you can feel this, a little bit of a stretch, not much of a stretch. And if you have particularly loose joints, but see if you can feel that happen, that as you pull, that you're just a little bit, you're connected along there. So if we open up, you're still connected. We did a little bit this last time. And if we come back in, think of this as hugging a tree with your whole circle. and then the tree expands, or hugging a balloon, and you've got to push that balloon at every single part of it. And then the balloon pushes back. Nice. Nice. I'm seeing shoulders are nice and relaxed and down. Wonderful. Great. Now, if you haven't been doing a lot of this, you will start to feel this. You'll start to go, oh man, there's a lot of this. So don't do too much, but this is a good exercise for you to do with moving our arms. But we can have our arms here, and of course, if we turn our shoulders, we turn around our spine, or we turn around that marker and our shoulders. They go with us, right? We can also power our arms. So let's imagine that if we put an arm up here, right? And we turn sort of quickly and we just kind of let it loose at the end, right? You could kind of throw your arm, yeah. And you could throw it back, right? Like you could sort of back slap something, right? But you could do it like this without moving your body, and you're not going to have much power, right? This is like nothing. You're just doing it from here, right? But if you wind up, you could throw it, right? And get some power. So we do a lot of that winding up in Tai Chi. Let's try it with the other arm. So you can take this arm and you could just like do it. You see I'm not moving, right? Right. See how that feels for you. Now be part of that big circle with this arm. Think of a butterfly on this arm. Ah, look at those arms change. Put a butterfly on your arm. Put a butterfly on your arm and offer it to somebody. Do you see how it connects? Because you don't want to bother that butterfly, right? But if you pay attention to what happens when you actually have a butterfly land and you want to keep that butterfly on your arm, your whole body attends and connects. This is another very good exercise for you. Okay, so you're going to invite the butterfly to leave because the butterfly is not going to like this, right? But take your butterfly arm over, right? And now hook it to your body, turn your body, and then throw your body. Yes. Lovely. Oh, terrific. Right? So in Tai Chi, a lot of what we do is moving, powering our arms. Okay? Interestingly, we can also power as we turn. So we could have an arm here, for example, an arm here. And as we turn, we could Queen's wave, like that grab we did last week. Yep. Now today, we're going to do like a grab pull. It's going to look just like that, but it's not going to be a grab pull. And I'll tell you what it is later, okay? So you can also try this move we did before. Now don't do it too fast. Pushing with the opposite leg and see what happens. So put an arm up and push down with this leg. Feel like you're a little turned maybe this other way, right? So you're sort of like wound up a little bit. And then you're gonna push with your foot. At the same time, you do this sort of back slap. Now, pick that foot up and don't push with either foot. Is it as easy? Is it as powerful? Up to you to figure that out. But coordinating and using the ground can give you power too. Let's try that on the other side. So we're going to push with this leg, be a little wound up, and unfurl and push. All right, so let's talk about that a little bit. So what did you experience? Did you feel any of that in your bodies?
Hey, Dee Dee.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure whether I wanted my arm to go past the plane of my body. Am I
No.
here? I'm not like,
Thank you. Yes.
okay.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. I should have said that for safety. Because if you really throw it like this, you're going to pull. You're going to pull, right? You could damage your shoulder.
Okay.
So we always in Tai Chi, I should have, that is my bad. Okay, thank you, Erlyn. So when we do this kind of thing, do you see how I could turn a lot and it could even look like it's going all the way back. But when I turn to the side to you, I'm still protecting this shoulder joint. So we only open like we're part of a big circle, ever, in Tai Chi, ever, 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 okay? So if you can't make a big circle with your elbows down, it's too far, okay? But that doesn't mean you can't like, see, I'm still part of the circle. It might look like it's open really high, really far, but it's not. Okay, good question. I hope nobody threw so hard that they have a sore shoulder now. Very good question, Erlyn. Any other comments or questions on that? Did you feel the power? Could you feel a little bit, or yes, good, yes, okay. And don't worry, yeah, great, wonderful. So if you don't feel the power, this is fine. You don't have to feel the power. But if you wonder why we're doing all this, because what the form is part of martial arts training. Why are we talking about different parts of the body? If you can control and manage the connections between different parts of your body and train your body, you can develop a lot of precise power. In fact, you can turn your body parts into whips, basically. You know how you can crack a whip? Somebody goes like this and they crack a whip. And when they do, they make a wave, and all the power from here, which is just your arm for Pete's sakes. However, it ends up traveling down because of the way the whip is shaped. It ends up traveling to the end in a very tiny point. And all of this power ends up in a very tiny point. And that's why the whip can cut so viciously. So, and why it can actually go faster than the speed of sound, which is why you hear the crack. Okay, so we're not gonna get our body parts going that fast, right? And we're doing everything in slow motion. But this is part of what we do. So we move our arms when we move our body, when we move our whole body, when we move our hips, and when we move our any part of our body, and coordinating them is a lot of what Tai Chi is about. So I wanted to introduce you to that concept. Put it in the back of your mind, and it may prove useful as time goes on. So we can get rid of our chairs now. And what I want to do is just practice what we already know. And then if we have time, we'll add one more new move. Okay? So, so we're actually going to practice all the movements that we know so far. and see what you remember and what you don't remember. And I'll just call it out. So let's start from here in prepare. So remember, your feet are grounded. Every part of your foot is on the ground. There's not more weight on the outside or the inside or the ball or the toe. If you're wearing some fancy inserts in your shoes, that might not be true, but ideally that's what it is. Your knees are relaxed. You're about to sit in a chair. The top of your head is reaching up and your body is hanging on off your shoulders. Your arms are relaxed and stretched by your sides. Opening. Our arms are rotating and moving forward, coming up to shoulder height, little wave at the top, and then pushing down until we can't push anymore. Left ward off. We're going to shift a little left, turn out to the right, all our weight to the right, sit, swing that arm, push a button, close, step, heel, ball, toe, turn to the corner, and that big macaw on your left arm, and you look off in the direction your left arm, to the wall, the left arm points. Right ward off. Shift part way to the right and pivot on your left heel. Nothing else is changing. You're bringing your left foot parallel to your right foot. It's now pointing towards the corner. All your weight to the left. Remember, you're going to grab, pull with that left hand. Bring that right foot in a little bit as you start to close, and then out for a bow step as you close. Heel, ball, toe, small bird on your forearm. Let's do it again. Prepare. Go through that list in your head, that head rising up, those relaxed knees, your body suspended, grounded, your upper body light, your lower body rooted, grounded, opening. Here come those arms floating up, little wave at the top, and pushing down. Left ward off, shifting left, turning out to the right, all our weight to the right, sit, push a button, close our arms and step, turn to the corner, raising that left arm, right arm pushing down. Right ward off, shifting a little to the right so we can turn a quarter turn to the right. Now our feet are parallel, all our weight to the left, grab, pull with that left hand, close and step to the side of the room. Small bird on that arm, pet its tail. Let's start from here. So now, if you like, you can look over your right shoulder and you can sort of have your shoulders to mine facing the same direction. Prepare. Opening. Arms lifting up. Pushing down. Left ward off. Shift a little left, turn out to the right. Sit, Swing up and press your button. Close our arms and step. Big bird, turn to the corner with your torso and your body, but you look to the back, or in your case, the screen. Right ward off, shift to the right. Turn, a quarter turn, all our weight to the left. Grab, pull with that arm, close and step. Small bird on that arm. Let's do it that direction again.
Can I ask a question about
Oh,
how the
sure.
last position?
Yeah,
Um,
yes.
When you step into the last bow step, where is my weight? Is it over this knee or is it halfway between my legs?
Good question. So when you're in right ward off, I'm going to do it this way just because then you can see better. When you're in right ward off, we talked a little bit about this last week. Your weight is on both feet, but it's not equally divided. And this is my suggestion as an exercise you can do. The reason it has more, first of all, the reason it has more weight is because this foot is more bent and therefore you're a little further forward. You see that? If I bend the back knee and I straighten the front knee, they're both bent for a bit and then there's more weight in the back.
Oh, I didn't ask the question right.
Oh, or I didn't hear you right. What did
No,
you
no, I didn't say it. Where are my hips? Are they centered between my two legs, or are they more over the knee that's bent?
Okay, so your spine is right in the center.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes.
Okay, so do you see I'm not quite in front of the camera. My spine is right here and here's me shifting. You see that? The spine stays right there as I shift.
Okay.
Sometimes people have a tendency to do this.
Yes. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
It's tricky because
No.
it involves opening these creases that you've been doing, and people aren't used to doing that. But if you can just think, Mike, who's one of the teachers at our school, has this really, really great analogy. So maybe Ken will be listening to this because I don't think he's heard this one before. So if you imagine, I'm going to embroider on it a little bit, but if you just imagine that you had like a chain hanging from your spine with a ball on the end, like a heavy ball, and it's not going to hurt you, right? And you had a magical floor below you where that ball could go through. Then whenever you shift your weight, you want to think of that ball as going right. I'm going to get where I'm here. Think of that ball as going right through the floor in the direction that you're going. And since we're going forward or we're going back, we want it to go right between us. What we don't want when we're going forward and back is to have that ball doing something like this, right? We want it just hanging from our spine and going straight forward and straight back. Okay, and it takes a while to master that. So there's the reason we have that analogy is because it's not easy, right? There are times when we're doing stuff, we're doing movements, and you get out of whack. So good question. Anything else, Rima?
No, that you got it. Thanks.
Okay, so while we're talking, how is that for folks? Do you think you could do one or both of those on your own? Maybe with maybe. Okay, so here's what I'm going to suggest. I'm going to suggest you turn around and we'll do prepare and everything. And then we'll do the first one from there. And as you turn, you'll be able to look over your shoulder, right? So I'll try to describe it for you. So we're going to get into prepare. I know it feels hard. Ground yourself. And get all centered. Nice. Pet the dog. And then opening. Let those arms drift up. Little wave at the top and pushing down. Lovely. Now leftward off, we're going to shift a little to the left, turn out that right foot. All our weight to the right, bend our knees, sit and push a button. Nice. Close our arms and step forward for a bow stance. Nice. Move our weight forward, turn to the corner. And you have this straight arm. Lovely, everybody. Beautiful. Look down at your right hand and see if your tiger's mouth, remember that's the part between your first finger, your index finger and your thumb, is pointing, could really be coming down that big bird's tail, is pointing towards the tail. Nice. Lovely. Okay, from this position, we're going to do rightward off. We're going to shift our weight enough to the right so that we can pivot that left foot only till they're parallel. All our weight to the left, grab, pull. You're kind of looking at the corner now, looking past your hand. We're going to start bringing our hands and feet together and then step out for a bow stance towards this wall with the right foot. And then heel, ball, toe, bend knee. Nice. Oh, you guys look fabulous. Let's do that again. I think you can do that. Let's do it again from here. So turn away from me and opening. Let those arms drift up and push down. Nice. Leftward off, we're going to shift a little left, turn out to the right, all our weight to the right, sit and push a button. Close our arms and step forward, heel, ball, toe. Turn your upper body and your hips to the corner as you look to the side. Nice. All right, rightward off. Shift to the right, turn to the right, all our weight to the left, grab, pull with that left hand, close, step, right arm up, left arm down. Nice. Okay. Any questions? I'm impressed.
Yep, I have a question.
Yes.
So the final position on what's the last ward off we just did? At the very end, it's the left.
Rightward off because
Right.
our right hand is up.
Okay, so the final position, when we step out for that final bow step,
Yes.
is our toe pointing to the wall?
Yes.
And it doesn't, so the toe points in line with the leg. Does it do this thing where it goes down on the heel and then goes that way? You know, like the first bow step, when we stepped out, we didn't have our toe pointing in the direction of the step. We had it pointing.
So let me show you the footwork for both of them. And
It
so
kept on parallel, like those green lines you have. It pointed along the parallel in the first bow step.
okay, so let me the first one, you come out, the back foot is always to the corner. And now I'm doing it like this, right? So this is the position of the first one. The back foot is to the corner and the front foot is straight. Okay? Then when we go into the second one, I realize this is sort of backwards, you're looking at it, but then you can see the relationships. Then we're going to turn a quarter of a turn with this foot. The feet are now parallel. Shift our weight all the way over here. Let this right foot come in a little bit and then go out. Now, I'm just shy of my lines here because I'm over to the left of the line here, but I'm going to go out for the bow step. Heel, ball, toe, bend knee. So let me show it to you from here. Those two things again, or let me see, what's the best way? Maybe, yeah, I think I better show it to you from. So we're going to shift a little to the left, turn out to the right. This is where we'd be doing this. Unfold, heel, ball, toe. So it's right along the lines, but we turn our pelvis, our chest to the corner, and then we sort of bowl to the back of the room. Then we shift to the right, turn until we're parallel with the other foot. Pivot on the right foot, let it come into neutral, and then step out, heel, ball, toe for the bow step. Does that help, Berlin?
It does. I didn't realize the final turn when you go from parallel to the bow step was so great of a turn. It looks like it's bigger than I thought. And then also, for some reason, I was putting my foot out at a 45 degree and then stepping directly with my toe pointed in the same direction as my knee, but it's not that way. It's the same way as it is with the first bow step. Is that right? Where
they are bow steps, but they're to different corners of the room. So there are big turns.
But the landing is the same. It's the heel that touches, but then the foot doesn't follow the same plane as.
So I think this is what you're saying, but you correct me. So if I make a bow step like this, and you know, as Rima would say, and she had to leave, she told me that was going to happen. When you pick this foot up, it often drifts in, so you feel like you're coming out this way, and you might feel like you should be going that way, but no, you have to turn and make sure you're on the railroad tracks.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's
same thing's true here. You're going to let this foot come in, and then it's going to feel like it's going out to the corner, but then you have to turn it to go straight, to point straight towards the wall.
Okay.
And so your body is it's a little bit of a overriding what your body wants to do. And
yeah.
Plus you're on Zoom, it's a lot harder to find out, right? Okay. Oh, super questions. So let's do it again. And actually, let's do it again right now so that we can practice that. I think doing it, let's do it from here, and then we'll do it from here and here. So get yourself in prepare, and then into opening. And leftward off, shifting left, turning out to the right, all our weight to the right, push a button, close step, turn to the corner, but look to the back of the room, or look to the screen in your case. Shift to the right, turn, quarter turn, all our weight to the left. Right foot drifts in a little, then out, but you are pointing where you're looking now for right ward off. And then let's do it from here. From prepare, opening. Left ward off, shifting left, turning out right, all our weight to the right, sit, close, step, turn, looking to the right, upper body and hips to the corner. Left, your bow step actually towards the screen. Right ward off, shifting a little right, turning till your feet are parallel, turning back as all our weight goes to the left. Right foot drifts in as we start to close and comes out. Now pointing the direction we're going to do the ward off. Raise that small bird. Oh, you guys really look good. Really, really look good. Great job. Here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing these lovely arms. I'm seeing other arms, which are, like fingertips pointing. I'm seeing you look grounded. It's really looking good. I'm very impressed. So well done. Would you like to get a feel for the next move? All right, I'm going to show it to you. So here we are in right ward off. I'll show it to you from a number of places. So here we are in right ward off. Oh, I'm sorry. I have been remiss. Life would be easier if I would remember to do this. Okay, this is my right arm because I know everything is backwards now. So in this final position, do you notice that I'm not turned fully to the corner with my torso, but I am not straight, right? We didn't talk much about that, but it feels comfortable that way, right? It feels comfortable that way when you're in a bow step. Okay, so here is what is going to happen. It's going to look like this. Roll back. I'm going to do it again. Roll back. I'm going to get closer so you can see what's happening with the arms, and then I'll actually get close enough that I can take this off and we can just learn. There's a queen's wave here, like a grab pull, but it's not a grab pull. And we're going to rotate this arm too. So you just watch that rotation. And what's happening? It's happening in conjunction with my turning to the right. I turn to the corner. Then two things happen. I go back and I swing past where I started all the way. So do you see I shifted my weight back too? So I'm going to show you from here. See if you can see. Yes, you can see. So roll back. Both arms rotate as I turn, and then I swing them as I turn back, and my weight goes back. And I'm quite open. Something else that, because you folks are so advanced in some of this stuff, actually, there is still weight on that front foot. It's like 30-70. It's normally would be, you know, when you're back, but because we're so open, there's more of our body here. So it's more like 70, okay? When we get back. So that's what we're doing. So let's go through the arms. We have time. So I just want you to kind of high five me. So everybody is, yeah, doing it with their right hand. I won't. So if this is your right hand, I know it's not my right hand, right? I want you to put your right hand where it would be for right word off, and put your left hand where it would be, right? And your body is turned appropriately. Great, now we can mirror each other, great. So what's gonna happen? Think of as if grab pulling, because it's that same kind of movement, but we're gonna call it a Queen's wave. And because I'm gonna explain what it's all about shortly. With this left hand, and the right hand is also going to turn palm up, okay? And what's gonna power that turn? Your torso turning to the corner, and your head and your gaze moves with it, okay? So here you are, nice. Let's just do that much again. So from here, right ward off, you're gonna turn, right, and notice that my hand is, we call it sitting. Most of you have that. If you were grabbing and pull, it'd probably look like this, but you see, it's up, it's not down, it's up. Nice, nice. Okay, and let's do that part again. So we actually are here, and we're open a little bit to the corner, and we're going to turn our torso. And as we do, coordinated with that is this turn, right? And our fingers are alive and pushing energy still towards this point. Nice. And look how my body's not like this, it's like this. You all do that pretty well, but give yourself some room, right? Then we're gonna go back. We're not gonna go back right now. Then you're just gonna big turn of your torso to the other side. And guess what? Your arms stay the same. So what's happening here is you're actually, it can actually happen from, you try to get right ward off. You try to get right ward off. This is now my right hand. You try to get right ward off, and you don't get it because they bend their elbow. If they bend your, if their elbow's like this, I mean, or close to this, you can control them. But if they can slip their elbow, you can't control them, okay? But your arm, and we don't do this in this part, your arm, you're gonna be able to slip your arm under and hold them. Let's see, make sure I'm doing this right. Yes, and grab them. So what you're doing now is you're connecting with somebody's arm here and holding it here, and then you're gonna throw them down. So when you're moving, you don't want like to have these arms separate or have that get really, really tiny or really, really big, because the person's arm is not made out of rubber, right? So that's why it stays together. So what rollback really means in terms of rollback energy is that you're going in the same direction that they started going, and you're helping them along, right? So you're just like, you're matching their energy, and you're pulling it down, and then you're adding some extra to it perhaps. So so let's go back here. So this is your right arm, and we're Queen's wave and rotating. Nice. Everybody seems to have that rotation. And as you do, your torso turns. Nice. And then your torso is going to turn all the way back, and those arms just stay where they are. Right. I'm saying this because it gets complicated as soon as you start going back. And it's just, for some reason, it's harder. All right, so let's give it a try. So I'm going to be here. You should put your shoulder to shoulder with me and face the same direction if you can. So we're in a right bow step. Right bow step. By the way, I don't think I ever mentioned this. One way to check your posture is this elbow, which is always the one that's a little bit down, right? Should be pretty much over your knee, right? If it is, give yourself an A+, right? So you're out, and the fingertips point, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to ground our feet so we know what we're doing, so that we're going to have this nice bow step. And then we're Queen's wave. So the top hand, the right hand, that thumb's going to come towards you, right? Like you were grabbing and pulling, even though that's not what you're doing. And your left hand, the thumb's going to come up. So it's palm up. So we're going to turn our upper body only to the right, not do anything else. So you're turning away from the screen. I know that's hard. And then shift back and swing all the way to that left corner. And when you do, you'll probably notice that that front right foot, because you swung so far, could start feeling light. So if it does, you just want to make sure you still got this little tip, right? You had a tip here, right? It was one line from the back of my left foot all the way to the top of my head. I'm going to rotate my arms, and then I'm coming back, leaving my arms as they are, just swinging. And I can still have my right foot on the floor very reasonably. Okay, let's practice that some more. Let's do it from here. Right foot forward, arm up so you can see the beginning of it. And Queen's wave, push out to the corner as you turn. And now weight coming back. All right, let's do it again. Queen's wave to the corner. Now you're coming back and turning all the way to the other corner. One more time. From right ward off. Queen's wave, turn to the corner. Your gaze follows your right hand through all of this and come back. And let's do it from this direction. Right arm makes a shelf in front of me. Left arm, pat the small bird's tail. And right ward off. I'm sorry, not right ward off, roll back. Queen's wave to the corner. Coming back. Swinging. And back again to right ward off. Left hand is pointing. We're going to Queen's wave to the corner. And then as we come back, just swing our arms, keeping them where they are. Hey, Sharon, nice to see you.
Yeah. So I have question.
Yes.
So when you do like this kind of palm, pushing down, and when you do this kind of arm like this position, kind of arm like first like this, right? Pushing down, and when you do this kind of arm like this direction, right?
So this is called I think a standing palm. It's the same palm, but you flexed at the wrist. So it's the same one you have here, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same one you have here.
But yes, but when you do like this, right? It's kind of palm like this way, palm the palm hand and facing down. When you like the swing, I think your palm kind of like this position. And
okay, so we start like this. It may not be very visible on Zoom. Okay, and this is my right arm, so I'm not mirroring you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm sitting it. So you're right, it's not sitting here. And it starts to sit as I come right past the center. Do you see how it's starting to sit right there? I'm looking at it to make sure you can see it. So here you'll also see it. It's starting to sit. And part of that, see, so that's where we're going. And then we swing it back this way.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, we have just enough time. We are going to be doing this a lot next week, and then we're going into the next move after that, which will fits really nicely with all the things we did today. So we'll get lots of practice, but let's do everything we know before we leave. Okay. So I'm thinking from here. Prepare. Opening. Left ward off. Shifting left, turning out to the right, all of our weight right. Push that button as you sit. Close step. One up, one down. Right ward off. Shifting to the right a little, turning that quarter turn, all our weight to the left. Grab, pull with that left hand. Close step. Right ward off. Roll back. Queen's wave to the corner, rotating the left hand as well. Swing them all the way back to the other corner as your weight comes back. All right. You guys look really great. Nice job. Nice job. Seeing a lot of thumbs up. Any final questions? Yeah, lots of smiles. I really like to see that. All right, then.
I just had a quick one.
Yeah.
So when you're doing this turn like this, you're not
Yes.
actually this elbow, is that right? You're kind of like a Barbie doll thing where their elbows are kind of frozen and they just kind of move around like this.
You know, if you think of this shape right to this point as often being held, we do a lot of, like if you built the Barbie doll, there's sometimes this goes up and this part goes up and down, but in this case, you're very right, Erlyn. That part of you just stays.
Okay.
Elbows down. Yes. And this is like your frame. We'll be talking more about that. We call it our body shape. And this part right through here is something that by holding, we can control a lot. Yeah, we can. And sometimes we let it go. You know, you can do a shoulder strike. So there's a lot you can do.
Thank
So,
you.
Okay, let's just end class real quick with dragging our fingers through the sand. And up and out, exhale. Yeah, I just really love this. And drag our fingers through the sand. Feel the grittiness. Up and down. Let it go right through your fingers. And one last time. Drag your fingers through the sand. Magic sand, get rid of cold germs, Crystal. And then